Right, I'm back now, phone called. So now, what was I talking about? So this bit on the bow here, I think that's been. I think this bow has been snapped at some point. You can probably see it better there, actually. Hey! What's all that about? Sky! It's alright, that's my dog having a hissy fit. You twit. That's what you get with bully breeds. So this deck now, where I've taken the strength from this out, fits a lot better. But that fit is horrible. In fact, it doesn't fit at all. It's got a massive big, well, you can't see the gap, can you? But well, yeah, you can there. Look at that gap. You know, I mean, that is just not a good fit at all. This is going to take some working on this, and that fits down there. But once that's in place there, it then starts to fill the deck down here. So now the deck doesn't fit on the stern. The stern is now overhanging. So I think they've got a serious problem with that now. Because this is where it should be. That now is a perfect fit. It fits perfectly into the strengtheners I've just put in there. It fits perfectly down there. It fits perfectly there. But now you can see that's overhanging by, well, it's a good few millimetres, and I can't push it into there. It's not like, you know, there's nothing there for it to push into. And I think, I'm pretty sure, you see now that fits now. Sky! What are you getting all excited about? Now stop it. If you think you're costing me hundreds of pounds at the bet again, you can forget it. Not going to happen. So this is going to need some work on this. This is going to have to be altered there, or somewhere here, because that, see, even if I bend it up like that, it's now from the stern out. So even if I get that under, the stern is thrown out. So I'm not happy with that. I mean, I'm extremely unhappy with that, because that does not fit stern or bow. No matter how much I play with it, I'm always going to have that little bit of overhang there. So I'm going to have to sort that out. But that will all go together anyway. I will work on it and I will get it. So that will work together. And this will now fit in better. That goes, I'm going to take it under that. Right, so that all fits together perfect. Apart from that. And then we've got a few bits here which are roughly loose. So we can put some of these, just have a look and see what they're going to look like. This will give you an idea of how big this kit would be. I'm only putting the bits in that are actually, that's out there, yeah, that goes in there. So this is going to, oh, that's the aircraft hanger there. I think that can either be open or closed. I've got a feeling it's or closed. Oh, that bit must go there. Maybe, maybe not. I can't really tell without, there's a door on that. So this will go somewhere on there. I've no idea where that will go. But it looks like it will go, you see it's got a door on it, so it won't fit in there. Well, it won't fit in there anyway, because that's where the aircraft hanger goes. So this must fit. There's probably something else going to be on there that's going to fit on. Doesn't fit on that either. So there's going to be So all the other pieces are going to be on the screws somewhere. And I reckon once these pieces are all put together, you get an idea of what it will look like. So that's going to be what it's going to roughly look like. So that's not too bad. That's a decent sized model compared to, you know, HMS Hood, which I did, and that was exceptionally large. This one is unbelievable, but now I've got to sort that out. That's a real disappointment, because that's certainly, you know, even though it's got what appears to be as if it would go in like that, but like I say, once it's in there, I'm going to turn that round. So once that goes in there, even though that lines into there like that, as we come down, you can now see the stern is overhanging. So it's a bit of both, I think. Let's see if we can actually put that right, eh? Let's just see what we can do with that. I don't like doing this. You shouldn't have to do this. And you certainly don't want to take too much off. Because if you take too much off, obviously it's not going to fit. Now these haven't been glued in yet, but they're fairly solid. I'll put a bit of glue on them in a minute. So that's, I don't want to take too much off this, because obviously if you take too much off you're going to lose the shape. I don't think it wants a lot off. And I can't do anything with it on the actual shoot because it's too much. And it's not like there's anything missing off of it. You know, I wouldn't mind if it was something that was missing. If it was a bit that was supposed to go in first. So I don't want to mess about with that too much. First bit to get it working is so that will marry up on the stern. So that goes into the stern. See, where I've taken that off, it's changed it. So that still won't fit in there. I've still got no chance of fitting into there. So the stern I can't take too much off the stern. Because if I take too much off the stern, then it won't go in at all. And even this needs to be set up, it needs to be sanded down in such a way that it's taking that off. So once again, we'll get it set up. Once we get the stern set in, see that's gone in there, the stern throws out. So we'll get it there slowly but surely. But it's still a long way short. I don't think I can move any of that around. I don't think I can do anything to that. Short of taking that off, I don't think I can do anything to it. I can maybe try. Take a bit of the plastic out. See, it's got a gap there. I don't know if I've just been unlucky with this. Maybe I've just been unlucky. But you see, that there is straight. There, it seems to be. I'll say it again. I think this has been broken. I think that's what that white is. I think it's been broken and welded back together. It looks like, you know, it just doesn't look like it should be like that. And it's a bit of a bug that, because if I keep taking too much stuff off. So once we get there, it fits in, but look at that gap. Look at the gaps in this now. And that's not going to close up. There's no way that's going to close up. And it fits there. But that is really, really bad. For a trumpeter kit, that's really bad. You see, that won't fit. That stern won't fit. Like that. That's how it should go. That's fitting all the way along. And we come to this bit and look at this. This is bad, isn't it? It's like this has been made. Maybe it's the deck that has not been made right, but you know, I mean, it's not just a little bit, there's quite a bit out there. There's a fair old bit out there. In fact, it goes to too much of a point, I think. It looks like the point is too much. It'd be interesting to see if anybody else has done this, whether they've had the same problems, or whether I've just been unlucky and got a bad kit. But I think it's that point that is stopping it. The fact that it's got that point, but if I take too much down, well, it won't get anywhere, will it? I think that should be more round. Almost flat. So once you see, now that's got rid of the point now. But I can't take too much off or it's going to go into these, whatever this is. But now the point's gone. Hopefully that's what it was. You know, I mean, I'm not used to trumpeter kits being like that. So that fits all the way on there. Get there now. Right, there you go. So that now fits. Fits there, yeah, it's all the way along there. It's all the way along there. So that now, because it was at a point, but if you can see it, you can't really see very well. I don't know how far I can zoom in. Let's see how far I can zoom in. Right, now you can see the gap now, look. So there's a gap on this side, quite extensive. That's fitting perfect along there, it's fitting perfect there. It's fitting perfect in there. It's fitting perfect there. It's fitting perfect all the way down there. It's clipped into the thing there. But now you've got this gap here. So when this goes together, it's like that needs to pull together. It's like that's gone out of place. But that's solid. I know what will happen if I get a pair of pliers on that and try and squeeze that together. That will break. I know that. I can see that. So I think what's going to have to happen when I come to put this deck in place, I'm going to have to very carefully fill that in there. A bit disappointed with that, really. I mean, it's not like this is like, you know, a 2-bob kit. It's not something I brought at a jumbo sale. This is near on £300 worth of model. Now at least that's saying all solid. So that's going to be so, but at least I've got it fitting. The deck now fits. So we're now up to, let's just put a bit of glue in there. They're fairly solid. They don't really need anything in them. I'm not going to mess about. I don't think it actually needs any glue in these, to be fair. Just enough maybe just to hold the, I'm not going to glue it against the hull. Because I know if I glue it against the hull, it'll possibly throw it out. So that's just enough just to hold them in place. They don't need it. There you go, that holds in place just fine. and they're in solid, so they're not moving. So that's not too bad. Like I say, I'm a tad disappointed with Trumpeter on that. Not happy about them, but it'll do. So now I'll tidy the deck up later. So the next job now is going to be drilling out the portholes. I can sand these bits off. Now you see, it's really weird this. These portholes here all have wriggles over them. These portholes are plain, they don't have any wriggles over them. I don't quite understand that. These ones all have wriggles on them. And these all have wriggles on them. But for some reason, they don't. I don't understand that. I think they've made a bit of a balls up with this kit in places. You see, I can feel everything there with the thing. That's smooth. And I've got a feeling, I've got a feeling, just a feeling, mind, if it has been broken at some point and they've re-welded it, it's quite possible that where they did that, they've sanded a bit down here and it's ended up smoothing them portholes out. A bit of a bug that, really, considering how much you pay for this. So now, I reckon that'll look better once it's undercoated over. I reckon that will go once it's undercoated. 2 minutes. I reckon once that's undercoated that'll be fine. I might just put a bit of undercoat on it just to see what it's doing. Be careful of the front there not to take that little bit off. So let's just put, don't really want a lot on there, but let's just put a bit of undercoat on there just to show it up, so I can see what it's doing. Got some paint somewhere, so let's just put, I don't really want to undercoat it completely, but this will give you an idea of what it's going to eventually, so I can feel there's a bit of a ridge there, so that's showing up on the paintbrush on the undercoat, so I can feel that on the undercoat that it's going to need a bit of work there. This is only to find that. This is only to get the thing done so I can actually see. So I can feel that's got a bit of a ridge there. So that's fine. So let's just, I don't really want to undercoat it completely, I just want to, so I can see that just needs to be sanded down there. So that's fine. That's about to run out. So I'll let this movie, now I've got paint all over me, it's going to run out in a minute. I'll do 1:10 I'll do one last video, or I'll do one last little chat, because now it's just a case of getting stuff sorted now. I mean, this is half a day on the model and it's you just mess about, you see I can feel that there, like for instance, half a day working on the model and done nothing. That's where these things take so long.